Let me read mine while you
Okay.
I'm gonna read mine.
You know, I'm gonna just start putting them up.
Well, mine is in 3, but go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm not greedy, but I'm hungry.
Like that's one of the biggest lies that really hurt me for a while.
I already feel like I'm sitting with somebody famous. You alright?
If your circle of people aren't holding you accountable, it's time to get a new circle.
Yeah, the Lord is just so evident and so faithful and just working in so many hearts.
It's literally an indicator of what's actually going on in my life.
Trying to get some child over.
Let's see what we're talking about. Okay.
Yo, I'm screaming out, hurry Lord. What was once beautiful was pure ugly, Lord. You know, I'm saying before I'm buried, Lord, I'm hoping for your perfect will to be open and real. Trying to stay broken and provoke the
Hey, you sound really be snapping.
I feel right at home, was in the hospital with a kid that was almost killed for buying chrome. Wrestle with the Bible, can I leave that light alone? Lesson in survival, lose the life you trying to own. In reference to my rival, I know that he real. I'm responsible for mine, but
Man, I'ma tap in, bro, for sure.
Yeah.
I'ma
Yeah,
for
that's
sure
my joy.
tap in, man.
That's my joy. I love that song, man. I'm bumping that joy as soon as I get in the whip. Oh my gosh, man.
See, you done just brought me back.
Oh my, you snapped me right back. I love that joint, bro.
Hey, yo.
It's like everything I love about hip hop is just, yeah, man. For me, that's hip hop, man. That's what I
Hey, let's tap it in. Let's get started, man. Welcome back to the Journey Podcast. I'm your host, Tamiko Wholeness, and I am with my mans today, man. Steven Johnson is in the building.
Hey, gang. We ain't affiliated with nothing but the blood, you feel me?
Nothing but the blood.
But the blood.
Man, tell her, man, my friend Steven Johnson, man, he a believer in Jesus Christ. He's a husband. He's a father. He's a teacher. He's an O-line coach at Garfield.
Big right.
He a Massillon Tiger alumni. He's now residing in Akron, but
Yeah.
I'm going to let him tell the rest of it, man.
Yeah.
So, Steven, on the Journey Podcast, we, let the guests, lead the conversation. We let the guests kind of just walk us through, me and the viewers. That's why I say us and we.
sure.
Because we one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's one body. You feel me? One
Facts.
spirit.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? One Baptist. We could go down the list, right? They're not going to like that one, though.
Facts.
But, yeah, man, you start us off to where you want to start. And then we just go walk us through.
Yeah, man. So, man, thanks for having me. This is like, bro, man, we've been locked in for a minute.
For sure.
This is a long time coming, man. So, man, I feel like for me, everything started in I would say my last semester of high school, 2008 at Massillon.
Okay.
Supposed to be going to play JUCO ball. Had a few looks. Like Finley, actually Malone, where we on campus at right now at the time when they had a program.
Yeah.
Supposed to go play JUCO ball at Joliet College in Illinois. So if you're watching this Joliet, I'm still low-key sorry y'all shut y'all program down literally a month before I was getting ready to come. Shut the program down.
That'd be such a defeating feeling,
Bro, especially in 08.
Defeated.
There's no social media.
Oh, yeah.
And, my mom, single mom, she didn't really know how to navigate recruitment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting here what do I do next? My
Right.
GPA was kind of trash. Not kind of, it was trash. I graduated like bottom 10 in my class.
Is what it is.
Straight bun. So I knew I was going the JUCO route, but I never knew a JUCO until I went with my homie on his visit. And I was like, oh, JUCO, what is JUCO? And I was probably in November, they offered me I went on a visit, unofficial.
Yeah.
They sent me letter of intent the next week.
Yeah.
Signed my letter of intent. I was ready to rock, did my lifting, and they was yeah, the program shut down. And I was sick, bro. And I remember at the time, bro, I was going through a bad depression.
Yeah.
And I was kind of in when I was younger, I was always known as I was the dude that was in the church, but also doing some stuff outside the church.
Right.
Which I feel is a lot of kids. Because the church, but this is early 2000s, Kurt Franklin is popping in the club for my mom's age and stuff like that. But there really wasn't nothing for I'm 34, so there really wasn't nothing for my age group really, but youth group. So I was just kind of I love Jesus, I did.
Yeah.
But I also didn't see myself in the church. So I kind of had 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So
it was there's no space to kick it, man.
yeah, there wasn't none. And I grew up in a typical black church. I didn't there wasn't like a big suburban church where I was at, in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I went to a typical old school black church. Church mothers, ushers wearing the white gloves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got the early morning Easter service. You're at 5 a.m. You're there at youth group or Saturday Bible study on Wednesday night. And my mom didn't know the Lord, so
Yeah.
I was really there with like my aunties and stuff. So, because my grandmother passed away when I was little, so like I was in church culture and I loved the Lord, but like I didn't really know how to navigate that. I really had nobody discipling me. So, like my senior year, bro, like my mom had met the Lord because she seen my faith, and like I was like, Lord, like listen, I'm tired of kind of having one foot in, one foot out,
Right.
but like I need to see myself.
Yeah.
And I was like a constant prayer. Like I prayed that prayer like probably like Christmas for like 4 months. I was like, Lord, like I don't see myself, but I also feel a tug to be with you.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I got to see myself or this ain't going to work. Basically like lay out the terms of the relationship type joint.
What are the terms of the agreement? What's going on?
Like I got to see myself, Lord. And because when I would read the Bible, it was fascinating, but I was like, yo, I just don't see myself like, because in church, man, you're like, the people in the Bible are looked at as like almost God-like.
Yeah.
Where
The
it's
patriarchs.
Like, where it's like, David was really trash.
Yeah.
Like he's after God's heart, but I mean, if you know the story of David, I mean, David
on
was
some trash.
David was
on some
Moses, or some
Yeah,
trash,
on some
Noah.
trash.
I mean, the list goes on.
Yeah.
But all these people were used by Yahweh. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it's because their hearts were available. It could be moldable by Him. You know what
Facts.
I'm saying? And
We definitely like emphasize, which is like rightfully so. We emphasize they like commitment,
for sure.
but we just don't actually ever talk about we just talk about that one moment they did something crazy.
Yeah.
But like, nah, they was a regular
humanity.
dude. Yeah.
Like through the Psalms, you see, like David struggled, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like struggled and wrestled with the Lord, and it's
All the
like,
time.
we don't highlight that.
No.
We highlight the and that's an American culture, right? In westernized culture, where we have a propensity to like to champion the champion. Like Americans don't like losers.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So we're not gonna talk about those down times. We're not gonna talk about
It never happened. Then.
yeah, like I love sports. I'm a Jordan guy. I love Michael Jordan's my GOAT, right? Michael Jordan is
LeBron, if you're watching this one day, LeBron, you feel me? You're Jordan guy. LeBron.
Yeah, I'm a Jordan guy and a Kobe guy first. So it's like everybody, Jordan undefeated, Jordan defeated. That's great, but like I also feel like because of that, the old heads don't talk about the '80s when he was getting mashed by the Pistons.
Right.
Because Americans love a champion. And when the champion's a champion, we don't talk about the sacrifices and the losses they took.
I love talk about LeBron's though, but we ain't gonna get there.
We don't get to
We ain't
there.
gonna get
We don't get to there. Maybe later. But like, man, I prayed, bro, and like, it's like the Lord, man. The Lord like provided a ram in the bush, like He did for Abraham. Like I was praying for friends and community, and it did not come how I wanted it to come. It came by, one of my best friends, Skyler. Shout out to my dog, Sky, pastor at our church, Citizens Akron and Akron. Shout out to Citizens. And my dog, Jeremy. And no cap, bro. I never rapped before in my life. I grew up in hip-hop culture. I grew up listening to all the albums I should have listened to when I was a kid in the early 90s.
Right.
But I grew up in, like, really, like, the best era of hip-hop when I was a kid, to me, arguably. And
Everybody around your age say that. This dude's the best era.
yeah,
This was it.
Yeah, man. Like for me, I would argue anybody that like the '90s, like the early to mid 2000s, was the best era of hip hop ever. Like the MCs, the music was organic. It was just natural, and it wasn't corporate.
Yeah.
It was about just making natural, organic hip hop, and I feel like that's what some of it's missing. But that's another conversation another day. But when I prayed that prayer, man, like. I don't know why I just wrote this rap.
Yeah.
I wrote this little Christian rap. Now, mind you, bro, I heard Christian rap one time in my life. I was probably 14. It was the truth, moment of truth. I was like, man, this is garbage. Now, granted, my heart was not ready for that.
Right.
Because it wasn't that, it was garbage, right? Like, my heart just wasn't ready for that seed yet.
Yeah.
So when I first heard it, I was like, this is whack, right? So I just wrote a Christian rap just because that's where my heart was at. So I wrote it. And I ended up rapping it on Skyler's like voicemail at the time. Cause back then, back then we used to have like little rap sessions, when the grinding was out and all that. So we used to rap on the table as kids. So
pencil tapping, all that.
Exactly.
Yep.
So I had the flavor, I had the swag to do it type joint, but like I never rapped. So I rapped, and they was like, okay, he got potential.
Right.
But Skylar wasn't feeling me because he's like, man, he a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? Like, them dudes was like, they was like,
you love the Lord.
yeah, like you know how dudes, like, when you first meet the Lord, like, that zeal you got, like, he ain't love the Lord, he got one foot in the church. You know what I'm saying? So, by God's grace, man, my homie.
Be no grace.
Yeah, no grace. By the grace of the Lord, my homie Jerm, man, shout out to Jerm, man. Like, he was like, no, like, just bring him in, da-da-da-da. So, ended up started doing rap ministry with, like, them dudes. And, they already had a group called the Hall of Faith Saints, and kind of what they were doing. And they just kind of invited me into the fold. And from there, I had community off rip.
Oh, wow.
And, like, Skylar had took me home to my crib one day, and I heard her Unashamed by Tadashi and Lecrae off Lecrae's second album, After the Music Stops. And it changed my life, dog. Like, and I seen the Jesus music video.
Yeah.
I seen these dudes in baggy tees, fitted hats. You gotta remember, bro, we used to wear 8X shirts back in the day. So
It's coming back, low key.
and I hope it doesn't. As a guy that lived through that era, don't let it come back. But
Hey, I'm telling you.
yeah, I know all fashion returns, but that's one thing. Brothers in 10X tees from, like, the local, like, hood stores, not to move. But I saw myself.
Yeah.
And I saw, like, when I saw Trip Lee, at the time I was 18, Trip was like 19. And, bro, it changed my life, bro. Like, I felt like the God of the universe looked at me and was like, I see you. And I'm going to give you something that's palatable for you. And, bro, I got community. I met, one of my mentors, God bless her soul, Terry Purdy, man, who changed my life with Young Life. And she discipled me, brother. And, like, kid, I'm from the hood, bro. Like, this lady, white lady, long skirt, like, I hated her, bro. I couldn't stand Mrs. Purdy, man, but her and her husband Clayton, bro. But, like, bro, she's seen the Imago Day in me, bro. And, like, through the Holy Spirit, bro, using her and being available, like, I'll be at her crib, all in the boondocks. She make fresh bread. And I'm just
Fresh manna.
Yeah, I'm this kid from the hood, man, and she, like, challenging me and, like, not backing down, like, challenging my worldview. And, like, bro, we bumped heads, but, bro, she poured into me. And when she passed, bro, tragically, bro, like, it's still weigh on me to this day because like, man, she poured so much into me, and there's so much I want to tell her. So, like, any piece of advice I can give to anybody, like, man, tell people, you always say, give them your flowers, man.
We love throwing flowers on this show. We throw them
man,
now.
I'm always gonna throw flowers on Miss Purdy and Clayton, man. Like those two people, they really poured into me, and offered me more community. So, community gave me Jesus, brother. Like, I'm big on community. If it wasn't for CHH, Christian Hip Hop, Young Life, man, the church just wasn't attractive for me.
Hey, let this be a lesson, man, about pouring into people who profess faith and they may not, look the faith part. Let the Bible shape how you view the world.
Most definitely.
And not how you view the world shape how you view the Bible.
Most definitely.
Because God infiltrates every sector. He infiltrates it all.
Amen, bro.
And it's because he's not showing partiality. He doesn't have any favoritisms. And so, like, this the right way to do it is the way that he said to do it. And it's carried out through everything, every culture, every skin color, every nation. He can carry it through all of it,
Facts, bro.
People be like restricting it because it don't look like me. Like, why you don't look like me? It's like, bro, it's not about looking like you. It's about looking like Jesus.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Jesus made music.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So the beat itself is not. The beat itself can't be wicked.
No.
The beat itself.
No.
But that message,
Yeah.
that message is wicked.
Yeah.
Or that message can be about Jesus.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts, bro. It's like, bro, like, the church that I grew up in was never gonna gravitate me to the Lord. Never. It was the cloaks and the suits and, I love old gospel. I'm an old soul. Like, I love old gospel music. Bro, I was still going home listening to Reasonable Doubt and Illmatic and Big Pun and Big. Like, I was like, this was cool.
The first time I even heard a rapper rap about Jesus, I think was Ace Hood, bro.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Welcome to my hood.
Ace Hood was the first time I heard somebody say Jesus in, like, a positive way. Obviously, I done already heard Kanye, heard stuff like Jesus Walks, but when I heard that, it didn't really sound like it was promoting him. It just was like, you just talking about it.
Yeah.
When I heard Ace Hood, it's like, somebody pray for me. Somebody, he, like, really Okay, this is Then I heard Lecrae, and I was like, oh, this is kind of weak. And Lecrae, you not weak, bro. I just wasn't, like he said earlier, I wasn't ready. You know what I'm saying, to even digest that. It's a real thing.
Yeah, I wasn't, brother. Like honestly, bro. And people always ask about because I'm big on discipleship now.
Yeah.
And it's because like me and my homies never had no discipleship. So like there was this album by Reach Records called 13 Letters, and it was like a collective of like all the Reach Records at the time. So like Cray, Trip, Tadashi, Sho Baraka, but it had like a lot of legends on it.
That's a big problem too, by the way. But why I feel like everybody from like 40 to 25 or maybe a little younger is no one discipled me. Like
bro.
Like, that's my story. Like no one like walked me.
No one discipled me. Nobody took. Honestly, for me, it was because they didn't know what to do with me, right? So like,
what is that? What you mean you don't know what to do? Like, what are you talking about?
Because I think right, and I'm speaking from like a westernized culture. I think oftentimes it's because like it goes back to what you said. Like we have this precept of what Christianity looks like.
Yeah.
From like a human to human interaction. And like, bro, I was just listening to this project, this new project by this another collective. It's by Ayo Shamir, but it's called Judas, and it got a whole bunch of MCs on it that I listen to.
Yeah, I ain't tapped into it. I downloaded it, but I ain't
It's fire, bro.
It's crazy.
If you like
that gritty one.
if you like Benny the Butcher, like stuff like that, bro, you're gonna love this joint. I love what they do in the gritty CHH movement. Shout out to C4 Katona, all the homies that do that, Riggs. But like, dog, like I was thinking, like, man, these dudes are telling these vivid stories of how they sold drugs and all this, and like,
very vivid.
Yo, Jesus met them in the trap, yo.
Man.
Like, Jesus met them in the trap. So like, that's why when I see pictures of like Jesus looking soft, I'm like, bro, that's like John Lennon, bro.
Yeah.
That ain't Messiah, dog. Like I'm like that. Like my God was really stepping on them things, bro.
Yeah,
really big, like really big business. Like if you really look through the scriptures, like
big stepper.
For sure. And like we gotta stop with this this propaganda. Like Truth said it best, man. Jesus was not a hippie picking lilies with his friends. Jesus was a man's man. So men followed him.
Yeah.
Like that's a powerful statement,
Very
bro.
powerful.
Like Jesus is not the westernized like depiction of what we think, and this is for the black folk too. Like Jesus is not like Tupac with locks and a 6-pack either. Like we're not doing that either. Beside the Barack Obama picture, like
No.
we're not saying that. But what I am saying is that the character of Christ, bro, and the character of God is like. If my homie James say it all the time, man. Like if you want to know about God, look at Jesus.
Look at Jesus.
And it's like, yo, if we look at Jesus, bro, he had ragtag dudes from all over the walks of life that followed him, bro, and became homies, and they changed the world, bro.
I say it like this sometimes. 'Cause I just seen a post about this morning. Like he really had a tax collector and a zealot,
bro,
at the same table. And so if you don't know what that means in that time period, like the tax collector is basically like a sellout to their community.
Facts.
They're working for their oppressor.
So it would be. I didn't mean to cut you off. So it would be.
You good?
For our black context, it would be what we would say at Candace Owens, quote unquote.
Right.
That's what we would say.
And then the zealot is somebody who we love, like
Dr. Umar.
Yeah, he's trying to crucify the oppressor. So they have like widely different ideologies.
Yes.
And Jesus got them to eat together.
Bro.
On a regular, worship together,
bro,
disciple together,
bro.
Like they became the best of friends, and they were enemies before,
bro.
So, and that's because of what Jesus did, and so like if that doesn't tell you about his character, like you kind of missing the picture, like you know what I'm saying. I pray for you, you know what I'm saying.
Imagine, right? Like in a world that is like constantly trying to rip everybody apart, and like I'm not sitting there saying I'm above reproach of that, right?
Oh,
like,
for sure, man.
Like we've all been through traumatic things when it comes to race, socioeconomics, gender, all those things.
It's hot topics going on right now.
Exactly,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. But like, if I can encourage the body of Christ during this season, brother, like, man, like fight for unity, bro.
Yeah.
Like. In
Psalms 133.
Like fight for that joint. And like it ain't easy, right? No. Like if somebody want to vote for one side, somebody not voting, somebody in the middle, somebody voting Republican, bro, ultimately, brother, like we all love the Lord.
Yeah.
And if we all love the Lord of the scriptures, that means like the zealot and the tax collector is gonna be at the same table eating the bread and the wine, bro, offered by the Lamb. So it's like, bro, we gotta be there and we gotta fight. That's why the Bible says fight.
Fight
like,
for it. At all costs.
At all costs.
At all costs.
It don't say it's gonna be cool.
Oh.
I'm sure it wasn't like I always say, like And you know, man, I identify with Peter a lot because I'm that guy that's gonna cut off the ear in the garden. Like, no, you ain't about to pull up on the Lord like that. Like, I'm that guy.
Did I need you to do that?
Yeah, I'm that guy. Like, roll up, you'll find out. Like, I'm that guy. So it's like, I'm sure Peter was like, yo, like, you know who this? You know he be robbing. Like, he be taking from us. Like, he really a sellout.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, like, Jesus looked at him like with like just like. You just don't know yet, my.
Listen up. Make sure you hit that like button down there. Make sure you hit that share button. And if you want to see more videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Now back to the pod.
Like, you don't know.
Right.
Like, you don't know what I'm about to do.
And I love him too.
Yeah, and I love him too. Like, I'm just not coming to save Israel.
Yeah.
Like, the plan
Whole
was
world.
the plan was never to save Israel. The plan was to use Israel to be a look
Save
for
the
the
whole
world, man. Like, bro,
Genesis 12, bro.
Man.
We got a lot, bro. We gotta shut down these arguments, man.
Yeah.
Like it's like the scriptures be so clear. It's basic hermeneutics, man.
Yep.
It's just very basic,
Very
clear
clear,
cut.
man.
Yo, hey, Abraham, through your family, the whole world is
The whole
gonna
world
be,
gonna be blessed,
like,
man.
it's always been that covenant.
Always.
It's always been
Always,
that. Let's just
man.
not get it confused. I don't know who's teaching this. I don't know how long they've been teaching this other stuff.
It's a lot, brother. We can get a lot of history, man. But yeah, bro. Like,
Let's go read your word, man. You
Let's
can
go-
read it for yourself.
bro. Yeah, in a world where
While we can.
in a country where like where we're free to, you can go anywhere. You could download it now on your phone, man. So many Bible apps, man. But man, yeah, read the scripts. But like, yeah, brother, like, from there it just took off, bro. Like, my faith skyrocketed, and me and my homies would literally take 13 letters. We would take triplets if they only knew. We would take Rebel. We would take all these CHH albums. We would take all the scriptures they would talk about in their raps, and then we would like read them.
Oh,
and we
wow.
we would be like, they would disciple us, man. So like, bro, it was like, I always tell people like, oh my gosh, that's such a beautiful. I'm like, yeah, but like, that's not how it should be. Like, I should have had somebody older scooping me,
Right.
and like training
Where
me.
was the elder at?
Right. So now at 34 now, like, I realized not until recently, and shout out to our head coach Ken Boyd, like, it wasn't until recently where I'm like, somebody really like started pouring into me. I'm 34 with a family. Like, think of somebody would have poured into me at 19.
Way different.
When I was like, man, it's about zeal.
Man.
I was rebuking cats at Walmart, you know what I'm saying? Like, that youthful zeal. And the thing is,
Come back to your first love.
yeah,
Come back.
and
Come
like,
back.
and now it's like, man, I'll be like, Lord, man, bring me back to my first love, like,
Sure.
because when like I'm 30, oh, you young? I'm like, yeah, but like in the faith, I've been running since I've been 18,
Yeah.
and a lot of homies done fell off the tracks, but by God's grace, like, because of community, man, like the homies I came in with in 08, we all love the Lord, like, and like, we talk about that, like, so grateful, and like, Malone was a huge space for community for me as well. I didn't even go here.
Man, shout out to Malone.
Shout out to Malone, like being able to meet James Talbert, being able to meet Corey, being able to meet Max and Marcus McFoley and all these people, and we all met each other. We were like 19, 20. Like, we weren't like, oh, we were young. And man, to see where all these men are going in their faith, man, like, I'm honored. Like when Hebrews talks about the Hall of Faith, like, I'm honored. I'm honored to see these men like love Jesus if they're married, love their wives, love their children, or if they're single, like love Jesus in their singleness. Like, man, to see these brothers run, they encourage me, whether they know it or not, every single day. And like, I look back and I'm like, Lord, you've been faithful. You've been faithful to me and the homies, because like, you came and got us like out of the dirt. And like, when I say the dirt, I literally mean the dirt, bro, and clean me off through the Spirit, and still cleaning me to this day. You know what I'm saying? So
That's what God does, man. He Steven said, like, he just prayed for it. Like, that's what it started with, man, a prayer. And it led to, and this is the fruit of his prayer. Like, this is something that happened years down the road that he can look back and like, whoa, God really answered what I said back when I was 19. I'm 34 now. And so I feel like we got this misconception of how like God moves when we ask, when we pray. And it's not that it always takes 10 years, but it's more like, or he needs time, like he's not strong enough. It's not like that. It's more like, bro, he's trying to foster something in us. That like, if he just dropped it on us day one, bro, we wouldn't even receive it.
Yeah, and that's what the practice of prayer is about, right?
Yeah.
Like, the practice of prayer is about constant submission to like the Lord, and that's something that I'm like, because I'm saying that, and like I'm learning that, like, there's seasons where I pray and I'm reading, and there's seasons when I'm not, and I'm just going about life, and I can feel it. And I can feel that I'm not being present with the Spirit, and I can hear Him like, "Hey, come sit with me, like come hear what I got to tell you,
Right.
And come hear this guidance that I got to tell you." And I feel when I'm not drifting because the compass is the Spirit is still there, but I can feel when I'm not spending time. And in church we James talked about yesterday, worshiping the Lord in spirit and truth. And I've heard that my whole life, and yesterday was the first time it clicked. So when y'all tell me I done read the Bible and I know everything, you don't. I've heard that scripture a lot my whole life.
People love saying, "I already read it."
Bro, it never clicked until yesterday.
Bro.
And it's like, man, the Lord like plants those seeds, and then He gonna water them when your heart is ready for it to be watered. And like, bro, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Like the Spirit is me knowing you and being intimate with you. The truth is like knowing the scriptures.
Yeah.
Like, we just don't like we're not the Pharisees where we just know scriptures to know it. And it don't impact our heart, but like but the scriptures impact our heart because we know Him, and we spend that time with Him. So
there ain't no spirit, there's no transformation.
None, bro.
We be trying to do like one without the other. We be trying to have just spirit.
Yep.
You just have like chaotic spiritualism.
Yeah.
Now that's where you find cats with rocks and incense and I know Jesus. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, you don't, bro.
No, you don't.
You got these truth cats who just like, we worship God properly.
Yeah.
We don't do
we don't eat shrimp. We don't like, but bro, you got a fade though.
Yeah,
like, but you went to the barber shop, bro. Your beard is cut off. Like, I'm like, yo, like, it's a lot of commandments, but you're not loving your wife. Like, and that's what I be saying. Like, bro, it be like you said, basic hermeneutics. Like,
it's basic, bro.
Y'all be thinking so deep sometimes about the Lord, and it's like, but you don't love your neighbor. Like, I know dudes that be hummed up in the crib reading books and books and books.
All these books.
But like, yo, you don't even love your neighbor, Chief.
Well, the Bible say forever learning, but never coming to the knowledge of truth.
Yeah, like Lord, don't let that be me. Like,
yeah, I don't want to be that.
I don't want to be the dude in the library. Like, oh yeah, I know the Greek, I know the Hebrew, I know all this, but
I don't love my kids.
But I don't love my kids.
That's
I don't
crazy.
love my wife.
Yeah.
I don't love my neighbor. Like, and I don't just mean like, I mean like your Republican neighbor, Democrats. I mean like your Democratic neighbor, Republicans. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean like the brother or sister that fell away from the faith.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or that brother and sister who may be struggling.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's the hermeneutic I want in my life, and I'm trying to press into.
Genuine love.
It's like genuine love for people, bro.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, like that's pretty much my whole story. Like without those 4 months, brother, like I don't meet my wife 12 years ago. And we've been together for 12 years, been married for 7.
Praise God.
Yeah, man, shout out to my bag, man. Shout out to Shalisha, man, and like have a beautiful daughter because that, like the Lord literally gave me what I thirsted for as a child. Like I wanted to be a husband and a father. And man, here I am and discipling so many more. Yeah, discipling so many more, man. So it's the Lord's been faithful, and it hit me this morning like, man, Lord, you really been faithful. Like, who am I to like have my stone and be like, Lord, where are you?
Yeah.
It's like, you don't see this?
Doing it.
Yeah, I've been doing it. I'm still gonna do it. Yeah, for sure.
You don't trust me after all this?
Yeah, after all this, like, you don't trust me? Like, okay, I'm gonna show you.
Yeah, man. I hear you, bro. I hear the testament. I hope y'all hearing it too. This walk of like, I'm just gonna pray. I'm gonna just really be about it. And yeah, I'm messing up here. I know this ain't probably over here, but like I'm gonna let God clean this up. And I'm just gonna keep walking, and He's gonna bring people around me. And then He brought them. Oh yeah, let's get it. Let's just keep going.
Yeah,
that's what I hear, bro.
Yeah,
and
for
that's
sure.
a beautiful thing to.
Yeah.
That's really walking by faith.
For sure.
You don't know the next step. You just don't know.
You don't, and like, don't wait, man. I think oftentimes like we wait for like the perfect temperature almost.
Just go.
Yeah, just go. Like the Lord literally brought me like so many different people. Young life was a big key component in my life as a young man. Like, it's just so many things I could point back to where it's like the Lord was like, okay, you need this. Okay, I'm gonna put these people in your life. You need this. And it's all been like, everything is like, and some of those relationships are seasonal, and like some of those relationships are like, they're great for that time, and I needed them, and cool. Some are like a lifetime. And like, man, and even those lifetime relationships, like they change over the different seasons as relationships change and people move or have more kids. But like, like one thing I can say is that the Lord has never changed, and He's like shown Himself to me in every single season. So
it was the same yesterday.
Today
And tomorrow?
and tomorrow, bro. And tomorrow. That's why we got to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? I feel you.
So talk about where you at now, man. Talk about how'd you get here.
Yeah, man. Like, I feel like Jonah. I feel like Jonah. Like real talk, bro. Like,
You in a whale right now?
I'm in Nineveh. And listen, I don't say that as to say that I don't love where I'm at.
Yeah.
But if you asked me and my wife when we got married 7 years ago, we'd be living in Akron, living in Kenmore, and I'll be coaching at Garfield instead of at Massillon, where, that's home. You know,
Yeah.
that's where I played. That's where where I grew up at, and I would love it, bro. You would never, because bro, we've been living in Akron for 2 years. We moved there first time during COVID for all the wrong reasons, right? Like the Lord was not in the moving to Akron the first time, and I was like going through depression. Like I was just in a bad space, crying every day. I just wasn't in a good space.
Yeah.
Moved back home, found community, and then we just felt it was time to move back up to Akron. Moved back up there about 2 years ago. We bought a house in December. First of anyone in our family to buy a house.
Oh man, amen.
Yeah, man, breaking generational
Yeah.
curses, man, out here, you know what I'm saying? And, man, ever since then, the Lord has really been, just placing things and opportunities in front of us.
Yeah.
My wife and I both, to bring his name glory, and then also show how the Lord can use anybody. And that's what I feel like I'm doing at Garfield, coaching offensive line. I feel like, my life is about discipleship of young men and offering something back to them that I really wanted. And just being a light bearer in those places, in those spaces, man. If you know anything about APS, y'all know APS is rough, rugged, and raw. But the kids are great. The kids just need somebody that's consistent. And, man, I love the kids. I love the staff. I love the fact that it's more than football.
Yeah.
For me there, it's real ministry, and we get to do real life ministry with these kids, and it just so happens that we get to play the greatest game ever, football. So, what I'm saying?
Every time I talk to a dude who is sound like he's so surrendered to Jesus, it's always, I wasn't really trying to do this.
Yeah.
It's always like people been asking me, man, about this pod. They're like, yo, Meek, I'm sure you just doing what you've always wanted. I'm like, bro, I've been talking about a podcast since 2019. For anybody who know me, I've been talking about doing this, man.
Yeah.
But people don't really know my hesitations about doing it. Like, it was always on my heart. I used to record myself on Snapchat. I used to call it Meek Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
And people would swipe up like, dude, this is great. Like, this is fire. But then I got to start thinking to myself, this is getting kind of personal out loud.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't really know
Yeah.
if I want to be that personal publicly.
Right.
So people would always be like, leaders in my life, people like Corey and stuff. They'd be like, dude, why don't you just do it, man? Like, I'm like, in my head, I'm just like, bro, you don't even know what I'm like.
You don't even know it.
But God has this way of just like, you gonna do this.
Right, bro. And I'm telling you, dog. Like,
I know you know what I'm
if anybody knows me, know, man. If you would have asked me, bro, I'll be living back home in Boston. I grew up in New England too, so I'll be back home in New England, living there full time. But the Lord, just was like, nah, you need to be here. And we can feel it, man, because the Lord continues to give us opportunities, and opportunities, and it's like, okay, Lord, you want us to be here. And this is where, despite what we may feel like sometimes, we know your presence is here with us in this moment. No, we're not saying the Lord can't be anywhere, but we're saying, for us to be surrendered in Akron, living in Kenmore. My assignment is here right now. And even through the hard days, man, I'm loving every single second of it, man. Like I said, I love being able to be more than a football coach, man. I've been coaching for a long time, and this is the past 2 years I've really felt fulfilled. I've never really felt fulfilled coaching ball. I stopped coaching ball because it just felt like football. Yeah. And I didn't want just football. I wanted to be able to really walk with some young men.
It'd be deeper than that for us.
Yeah, it do.
Than that.
It do, man. I come from a program where it's just football.
Yeah.
I've done that, and you know, shout out to the state champions, Maslin. You know what I'm saying? I'm always a Tiger forever. But being in a space now where it's ministry first, and then it's football, and to watch how the Lord moves in these young men's life, bro, it's a beautiful thing. And the fact that I get to play a part, like just to be in the game,
I'm on the field,
just to pass the ball off,
yeah,
and just to see these young men like.
Kingdom mindset.
Yeah, bro.
Can only be received by other kingdom mindsets.
Yeah, man. And just to be with a head coach who loves the Lord.
Yeah.
And just to see yo, we're gonna love Jesus unapologetically. Like even in the public sphere. Like
we don't care.
In 2024, nah, we're gonna love Jesus even in the public, like we don't care.
Yeah.
And to see the man that he is, like the people that love him from different walks of life. Like I see that, like, okay, like that's how you can move and maneuver in this
right.
space. Love Jesus, but have all walks of life love you and rally around you. You know what I'm saying? So the facts that
that's that respect, man.
That's that respect. So the cats that don't like you is like, oh, you really hating.
Because what you mean?
Yeah, like you really just hating.
I'm really an honest dude, like all the time.
Exactly.
Like, what you see is what you get. Like,
exactly.
I'm not like pulling nothing. There's nothing secret going on.
Exactly. Exactly.
But that's hard. That's just rare to come by.
It is. It's rare. It's rare.
It's very rare.
It's rare, man. But I'm grateful that, like I said, the Lord has placed me around a whole bunch of solid dudes, man. Like I don't have nobody that's around me that's not solid. And everybody is solid, man. So yeah, like that's where I'm at right now. Like I'm in grad school right now, and
where you going?
I go to Messiah
University.
So I'm there just trying to further this teaching degree and maybe get my doctorate. We'll see what the Lord do. But once again, if you knew me in high school, you'd be like, Moose with a doctorate? Like,
yeah. PhD?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, man. But like, I'm grateful. I'm just grateful, man. Like, I've driven through my old neighborhood before, and I'm like, yo, I remember eating peanut butter half sandwiches and ramen noodles. Like, man.
Now I'm here.
And now I'm here. Like, me and my brother talk about it all the time. Like, my brother used to have a picture of our apartment that we grew up in on his phone.
Yeah.
And, like, my brother's 8 years younger than me, and, like, I just remember being hungry a lot, bro. And I always tell people now, because I work in a lot of suburban spaces, and I always tell people, like, man, like, hunger pains are, like, different. Like, and it drives you in a different way. And, like, in hopes is that it drives you to Jesus, right?
Right.
But it drives you to a focus.
It does. You lock in.
Because you don't never want to go back.
No.
And you don't want your kids.
I'm not eating Spam again.
Yeah, if I eat Spam, it's because I want to. It's because I really went to the store and bought some Spam with an egg, you know what I'm saying, some good white bread, and we fried it.
Not because it was just in there.
Yeah, not because it was in there. We didn't have a choice, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, bro, I'm supremely grateful, man. But, like, I'll say the last component, too, and I mentioned it before, but, like, I would encourage anybody, man, find your community, man. Like, I'm all for. I love that Christian hip hop is finally getting the love it deserves.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Christian hip hop community. I've been in since 2007.
All of them.
Shout out to everybody who doing it.
The right way.
The right way, the holy way, the righteous way.
Yeah.
Loving Jesus, loving your neighbor. And also is dope MCs.
Yeah, you actually can rap for real.
Yeah. Because Tamika will tell you, like, I'm not one of those Christians that'll just tell you nice just because you rap about Jesus.
Yeah, you not like we're just gonna put it to all quality work out there.
Yeah, all
like,
quality
your ministries, your ministry, your whatever it is.
Yeah.
Just because you sprinkling Jesus on top, bro. This don't make it good. Bro. Like,
yeah, you don't get a pass because you love the Lord. No, we don't do that. No, it's supposed to be excellent. Excellent.
We are driving to excellence.
Excellence, man. So if you a bus driver and you get in an accident, it's like those all of the Lord. Like, okay, learn how to drive better because you driving for the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Anything. You be rapping, singing,
it doesn't
doing
matter.
Artistry. If you're a professor, teacher, whatever, a garbage man, like do whatever as if you're doing it unto the Lord. Unto the Lord, man. So yeah, man. But shout out, man. Like, Christian hip hop is a very huge part of me and who I am, and it's the fabric of who I am. And without, I would say I call them the Mount Rushmore, CHH. I wouldn't love the Lord. I wouldn't love the Bible.
Yeah.
Any of that. And the Lord used what the church used to burn CDs for at the altar and all that, which is crazy, bro. I was in that era, bro.
That's wild.
Cash used to burn CDs and I always tell people be like, when we was like really, really out there, like some cats in the hood be like, why don't you go to like any black churches? I'm like, we the devil. Like the white churches be like, yeah, come on and rap. And
I was just talking to a friend the other day, bro. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
You good,
bro.
brother.
They was saying how, and this might sound weird to the viewers, but it's whatever. They'll say how, because I didn't grow up in that church era. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really go to church that much growing up, but people have told me, yeah, bro, like the white church they'll spot you, but oh yeah, like he's definitely like surrendered. Let's get it, and he's talented.
Yeah,
let's get him over here.
Yeah,
and I'm like, really? They like, bro, they're doing it to you. Like it's happening. You just didn't recognize it.
It happens. It happens. And like the thing,
it's not like a bad thing, but
no,
like,
it's
just
not.
a thing. Like
it's an interesting thing.
Yeah,
it's very interesting because like that's what would happen. Like we would get booked like. We used to get booked in like T County, Tuscarawas County, like, bro. We were like, why you going to? My mom was like, why you going to Tuscarawas County? You better come back before it's night, and like, or like we would get like we got booked at a show in West Virginia one time, like in the hills, like, and people be like, oh, I know, and like, no, it was all love. Like we preached Jesus, we rap, and like it was dope.
Cool.
It was dope. Like and people are always like, enamored by those experiences, but like. Yo, those experiences taught me a lot about humanity.
Yeah.
And it taught me number one, that all skin folk ain't kinfolk.
Man.
It taught me that kingdom folk is kinfolk.
Yeah, kingdom folk is kingdom folk. Like,
and
they're gonna be in all colors, all sizes.
All sizes, man. And it taught me so much. And like those, like what they would say, elementary truths. Yeah. Man, those are bedrock truths. Like you're never too far gone to hear Jesus died and resurrected. You're never too far gone to love your neighbor. Yeah. Like those are bedrock truths that without those, our faith
doesn't mean anything.
Don't mean anything. Paul said it. Like
you don't love.
If Christ didn't resurrect, what we here for?
What are we doing?
We wasted our time.
Without love, you could die right now as a martyr. It doesn't mean nothing.
Yeah, subscribe to the channel. Couldn't be me.
Clanking cymbal without love. You can do all these things. So it's like those are not elementary truths, man. Those are bedrock truths, man. And all the other stuff, man, that's secondary. Like it's dope, it's great, it's good, but it's not like, man, we need those bedrock truths to build off of that. So
that's
man.
Facts, bro. That's so, and that is like an interesting thing. Not to, bash whatever era of black churches. Not to.
No, never that.
But
never that, because
that's just what. That's all. That's what I hear.
Never that, bro. And like never that. I grew up, in a black church, a historical black church,
right.
Like, and like I loved my time. Like I got some bedrock moral truths. But like I said, like I look back and they were trying to mold me into being another black church pastor.
Right.
And that's because that's what they knew.
So know.
And that's any church. Like it could be a suburban church and like they got this young dude, they want to raise him up to be the next, campus pastor. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing wrong with that.
He's an elder in training.
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like the Lord was like.
It's a calling.
Yeah, I feel like the Lord was like calling me to the barbershop. Yeah. Like the Lord was like telling me like to go in the barbershop and be Jesus in the barbershop. And be Jesus in ciphers and be Jesus in hip hop. Like and we need that. Like that's why I never understood when people used to bash Cray for going to the BET Awards. I'm like,
yeah, bro. Somebody gotta be the light there.
Yeah, bro. Like
somebody gotta do. Somebody gotta be sent out. Somebody has to be an apostle.
I never understood that, bro. Like I never understood the pastors of the world that we know of. I won't mention any names, but they would be like, oh, he's bumping shoulders with all these dudes. Are you gonna go talk to Chief Keef? You not gonna go talk to Chief Keef. You're not talking to 21 Savage. You're not talking to Benny the Butcher. Any of these dudes who rap because urban culture, you don't understand it, so it scares you.
Yeah.
So you're not going there to go have those conversations about the Lord.
Somebody got to.
And somebody got to.
Because Jesus loves them too.
And that be my thing. It's like the Lord loves the hood to the burbs.
To the burbs.
You know what I'm saying? Like from China to Ohio. Like Jesus is for everybody. Yeah. And I think that's like we always talk about in the black community and just in the westernized culture that Jesus is for a specific sect of people.
It's not true.
But that's not true. Like that's demonic, bro. Like
it's not true.
Like, bro, like Jesus Jesus is in pursuit of every man, woman, and child, bro. To
Pursuing them.
like pursuing them.
Hard.
Right. To place the kingdom in their hearts, man. So it's like we can't put on our human lens to be like, oh, well, this don't look like Jesus.
Yeah, he was at the Grammys. There's no way.
Yeah, there's no, but you're not.
You don't know that,
Because,
bro.
bro, I'm gonna be
You don't
honest.
know.
I'm black. I ain't going to the Grammys. I don't like crowds like that. The Lord know. I don't like crowds like that. I might try to go to the BET Awards and dress all up, and that's not my function. But like the Lord, there's a song by Flame. He placed me right here, and it's like nobody, like the Lord placed me where I'm at for a reason.
Yeah.
Sovereignty. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Facts.
I'm not gonna hate on somebody else's journey as long as you spreading Jesus truthfully and in spirit. Hey, brother, sister, do your thing, man.
Got it.
Man, you got it. I'm praying
it,
for
bro,
you. You
bro.
running your race, man. So I ain't never going to tell you what you should do or what you shouldn't do. You know, and that's for anybody. But I would tell you to watch out for people.
Yeah.
People in the church is real grimy.
Gotta have discernment.
People in the church can be real grimy sometimes. I've had bad experiences too there too, man. But God bless the church. We love her. So.
Man, we love the church. Don't talk about it. We could talk about it. It's my mama.
Oh yeah. I love the church, man. Don't ever get my correction misconstrued for hate, because I love the church. I'm not one of
Love
these.
church. Support your church. All that.
Yeah,
We love it.
I'm not one of these disgruntled people out here mad at the church because they got your order wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you still go to McDonald's just because the one on Tustin didn't get your McDouble right. You still go to the one in the Burbs, though. 'Cause you know
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Come on.
Yeah, man, that's my thing, man. And this is my part message, man. Before we bounce, bro, I know we
Go
getting
crazy,
close,
yeah.
man. It's just like we live in an era where I feel like, because man, you see people, people where it's like, there's like this mentality that Christians are dumb.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's the mainstream Christian audience that you see, right? Like the Olympics thing, right?
Yeah.
People were so up in arms about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, number one, y'all more up in arms about that than y'all really be about loving your neighbor. Like, and that's when I come back. I know y'all say, like, well, Moose is always talking about loving your neighbor, because the Lord has impressed that upon me.
Yeah.
Like, me. Like, if your pastor ain't
What
preaching,
you're focused on.
like, if your pastor or preacher or prophet or whoever is not saying the message that's hitting them, you might want to figure out if they talking to you in spirit.
Yeah.
might be
They're
talking
talking
to you in
about
truth.
what's popular.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Whoa.
Yeah, man. Like I can't encourage like Christians enough, man. We gotta stop being so sensitive.
Yeah.
But in the same token, like people who have like you know with the church hurt and all those things like that, like I hear that, but man, like read the scriptures
At
and
some
see Jesus
point.
for yourself.
Yeah, at some point.
At some point, man, I hear that and I respect that and I honor
respect
that.
it so
I
much.
do, man, because we all been through things.
Yes.
But I always make the analogy: if you've been to one bad mechanic, you got to get your car fixed. You just don't stop going to mechanic. You find one that's good, that's suitable for you.
And you pay the ticket.
And you pay the ticket, and you find an upstanding, right person to fix your whip. And that's the same thing with Jesus, like, man, to a church, like, oh, well, this church hurt me. This church was teaching bad stuff or whatever.
All right, okay.
So now the church
All
is
right.
messed up. Like, no, the church is filled with
Oh.
infallible people who
Yes.
need Jesus. Like, I'm a Christian because I need Jesus. Like,
Yes.
nobody fed me. I made this post on Facebook. Nobody force-fed me Jesus. I wasn't manipulated to love Jesus.
Right.
Like, none of that stuff. Like,
I got
none of it.
family that have asked me like, why, like, who forced you? I'm like, bro, nobody forced me.
Nobody
What are
forced
you
me.
talking about?
Nobody,
Nobody,
nobody, bro. And
nobody finessed me.
yeah,
or
bro. It's
tried to
not
persuade me.
Yeah, bro. It
That
wasn't
never happened.
None of that,
Never
bro.
happened.
It wasn't white man that fed me some type of religion. None of that, which is an oxymoron in itself. Like,
Yeah.
none of that. Like, Jesus literally met me.
You do your research? Yes, I actually did.
I actually did my research.
For years, actually. Like I did
Yeah.
this for years. Like, I
Yeah,
did
man.
this.
So I don't know if I could encourage any Christian out there, man, to stand on your 10.
Bro,
and,
stand on your 10.
Stand on your
toes.
10 and walk and crawl till you get in.
Yeah.
Like,
Facts.
no matter what it is, man, like, crawl half a step, the Lord gonna walk 10-30. He already did it for you. So just,
Come
like,
on.
bro, all of us, man, like, don't let the world, like, discourage us from our faith. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, be emboldened for your faith, but be emboldened by love. Like, don't be emboldened by hatred or, you know, by the fact that you wanna prove somebody wrong. Because I used to be like that when I was young, like, wanting to get in arguments all the time. But, like, I was getting arguments to prove a point.
They love it at the base, man.
Yeah, like I love conversations if it's about having a conversation to love people well, and like being able, like, maybe we'll agree or disagree. And that's the thing, like, I don't have to agree with everybody I have a conversation with, but I'm also able to see the imago Dei, the image of God in everybody.
And every
and that's not a
body.
Christian thing, y'all. that's just a blessing that we all have, that we're all made in the image of God.
Everybody.
And we're all deserving of love, kindness, patience, grace, mercy. We're all deserving of that because we all need that. You know what I'm saying? So once again, I'm telling y'all that because I'm wrestling with those things. It ain't something I'm like, oh yeah, no. No.
You're not perfect at any sense.
No, I'm trying to let that deposit in my heart. You
But
know
what God said is just true.
Yep.
That's just what it is.
That's what it is, man. So yeah, man, that's my journey in a snapshot, man. Is a dude who thought he had life figured out, thought I was gonna take my mama out the hood, be in the league, and it didn't happen like that. But the life I have, man, like it started with a prayer when I was 18 years old and I was in high school, and now I'm 34, and like the life God gave me is like nothing but His faithfulness towards me, even in my mess.
That's tough.
He died for me, so resurrected. You feel me? Ain't gonna come back. New Jeru, New Jerusalem. You know what I'm saying?
It's all coming.
We're gonna be reigning forever with Him. You feel me?
Started with a prayer.
Yep.
I like that.
Started with a prayer, man.
Well, Steven, it was good to have you on here, man. I appreciate you.
Most definitely.
Man, might have to run this back, bro, because I feel like we could really go for hours.
Hey, man, if y'all know me and this guy.
We be yapping.
We really be on it. So I would love to come back and do a part 2, and we could just talk about, anything from sports to anything for real. I'm able to talk about anything and still be able to lead the table with love. I ain't about to break tables and stuff.
Yeah, you don't agree with me?
You don't agree with me? Darn you. Like, you should agree with everything I say. No, never that. So, yeah, man, anytime, man.
For sure, man. Well, viewers, this is the Journey Podcast. I'm your host, Tamika Holness. Until next time.
Still got 7 habits, I'm trying to replace, I'm trying to override. Still got 7 habits, I'm trying to replace.